This makes for a nice picture. There's the water line. So all this was submerged. You can see how the conformal coating here is bubbling up. But like I said, let's blow it off, plug it in, see what happens. Okay, so got the computer board plugged in. It's on my plastic tray here, so it's not going to touch anything metal. We have to ground out the computer case itself. I just want to make sure that's a good ground, because on Saabs that's mandatory. Now, battery is still accepting 25 amps. I guess we could put the booster on it too, just to give it a good crank. Why not? I'm just going to put it over here. 94%. Boost. Come on, Saab. This would be a miracle if it actually fires up. There's the brake. Turn that off. Of course not. That would be too cool. Now it does have traction control, TCS control. Nope, no luck. So while the battery is charging up, it's pretty much fully charged now, 40 amp hours accepted. I did some research online on ALLDATA, printing out wiring diagrams and computer pinouts. What do we want to check on this computer? Now the owner said that he does have a spare computer, so he's going to bring it over tonight. But there's nothing to lose with this one. We might as well get familiar with the inputs and outputs. So what are we dealing with here? Powers, grounds, crankshaft position sensor is the key player for timing, injectors, and ignition. And check engine light. We want to deal with that because we don't have one on the dash. So here are the pinouts. I marked them up. For example, I want to measure injector cylinder number 1 control, ignition coil number 1 control on pin 9, then the check engine light and that wire that you ground to make it flash, crankshaft position sensor, first wire, crankshaft position sensor, second wire, and on the actual diagram, those are pins 64 and 40, so that's channel 1 and channel 2 on the Pico. And then channel 3 is going to be an injector number 1 control, channel 4, ignition coil number 1 control. And then I rigged up a little test light from battery positive. When that lights up, it means the check engine light is on. So let's see what our signals do when we turn the key on. So right now they're all close to 0. There's still some bias on the crankshaft position sensor, but let's try it out. The check engine light did not come on, and our main relay also did not come on. Interesting. Now a little while ago it did. So let's try to crank it, see what happens. Okay. So main relay is off. Still off. Let me oil some wires, see if we can make this main relay come on. So channels 3 and 4 are the injector and ignition triggers, and they're stuck at 0. So we expect to see 12 volts and then getting pulled to ground once the engine starts spinning. We're at 0 right now, so not exactly what I expect. I think the check engine light is right there. That's kind of part of this display, but we're not getting anything on the main relay feed. Interesting. Let's just check the powers and grounds in this computer because it's doing some weird stuff. It could be because of the corrosion, but we want to be 100% sure. So if test light is connected to battery ground, if it finds a positive, it should light up. What are the battery, constant battery feeds? So pin 1, red, and then pin 48, plus 30 is constant battery power. Okay, let's check those. So right here, pin 1 and pin 48. So my test light definitely works. There's pin 1. No test light. Pin 2, or pin 48, also no test light. What the heck? And the only ignition source from your ignition switch, pin 60 is pin 15. Let's put a test light on pin 60, turn the key on, see if that lights up. But we're missing the main power feeds to this engine computer. What the heck? Okay, while we have the test light handy, let's go from battery positive now. If we find the ground, it should light up. Let's check pins 24, 25, 66, and 47. So let's see here. 24, yes. 25, yes. 47's all the way over here, yes. And 66, 1, 2, 3, yes. So all the grounds check out. That was easy. Let's check the ignition power. Back to battery ground. So pin 60 is right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that right there should turn on when I turn the key on. Let's try that. There it is. Okay. So if I turn the key off, that should go out. It did. So pin 60 is good. We're missing power on pins 1 and 48. And those come from B plus right there from a fuse FA2322 amp. Let's see where that lives. Perhaps when the water got in there, it blew the fuse and like saved the computer from completely going green crusty. Alright, all data to the rescue. Fuse locations and layout behind the glove box. We're looking for fuse 23, 5 amp test equipment, engine and car electronics. And here's the layout. Left hand drive should be somewhere in the middle. Behind the glove box we have a beautiful fuse box. Kind of opens up like this. Very neat. And fuse 23 is this 5 amp right here. So that side's hot. That side is not hot. That 5 amp fuse is blown. So we don't have power to the engine computer. Let's replace it. I don't know what this crap is. 22 warning hazard lights. I'm not a huge fan of aftermarket junk here. Let's see, is that even hot? That is hot on both sides, but I don't like it. So we're gonna take that out for now. Let's get number 5 out. We have a handy dandy fuse puller. How nice. Let's see if it works. It's kind of squished. Yes. Check it out, completely blown. Let's pop a spare 5 amp fuse in here. Check it with our test light. Hot, hot. Let's go back to the engine computer. Well, what do you know? Test light, test light. We got power. Let's plug it in, repeat that experiment. It might fire up, who knows? Alright, here we go. So, crankshaft position sensor channel 1 and 2, and channel 3 and 4 are the injector and ignition coil. So let's see what happens when I turn the key on. Nothing. Oh! Fuel pump kicked on and the relay kicked on. Something really weird is going on with the crankshaft position sensor. Let's just crank it, see what happens. Okay. That shuts off. Turn the key back on. So fuel pump kicks on. Smells like fuel. CKP is doing weird stuff. Let's crank it. Okay. The control wire is just pulled down. I wonder if the feed voltage is maintained. Look what's going on with the CKP when we're not even cranking. And then when we are cranking, we get this garbage. So everything's messed up still, even with the power restored to the engine computer. Unfortunately. Ah, crap. It blew the fuse again. So the engine computer's toast. We'll have to replace the computer and this fuse again, and then see what happens. Check it out. With the blown fuse, I have the test light on the injector feed. So once it clicks, relay's on, fuel pump's on, and you crank it. Fuel pump and injector relay turn off, or main relay. That's too funny. And obviously the fuse is blown, so yeah, this computer is definitely junk. So I plugged in my test light, 5 amps. That's a short. It's a dead short to ground. Let's unplug. Oh, I smell burning electronics. Oh yeah. This thing's so cooked. Should we get a thermal camera to see what's cooking here? Ah. 30-year-old electronics smell. Alright, computer's unplugged. Let's see if our short disappeared. Our short definitely disappeared. One more strike for the engine computer. Alright, so we have a replacement engine computer delivered in 1 hour by the owner who brought it here in his other Saab. There it is. What year is that one?
That was in 1995.
Derek, okay, 95. This is a 93.
Yes.
Now, is that a hot sauce version 2 with the turbo, or?
That one's got a low pressure turbo in it, so it's not quite as souped up as this one.
Okay, so this is the top of the line,
yes.
The fast one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we plugged in the replacement engine computer. It's right here. Same part number. And first thing we want to do is check that our light bulbs over there, so there's no short circuit anymore. So that 5 amp fuse. We're just going to leave the light bulb in there for now. That shouldn't pop again. Let's see if this thing will fire up. So when was the last time this car ran, Derek?
It was probably a couple months ago.
Okay, because it really looks like it's been sitting for a year or something. You know, it's kind of cobwebs and battery was shot.
Yeah, it's been out since the spring, like over winter into spring, so.
Okay. So when we turn the key on, let's see what changes. Our shift up light actually is bright now. The check engine message is right there, and that goes away. So let's crank it and see if anything happens. There it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
so
we're spot
right
on
for you.
So let's let it run for a little bit. But you said this intermittent no start condition was present even before with this computer, right? You tried that computer?
Right, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we're not quite done. Now we're back to the original problem.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so now my job is to reproduce this intermittent crank no start. Now, when does it usually happen? After you drive it around for a little bit, let it sit on a cold morning, warm, hot, rainy?
No real, consistent
unpredictable.
option. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
unpredictable. So at least we got the car running. It's not a beached whale anymore. I'm happy about that.
Yes.
And it doesn't really want to rev. It does sound like the lifters are a little dry from excessive cranking probably.
Right.
For half a year. Yep. The check engine light message is on. So I did read up on how to flash codes on this thing. We don't have the special Saab scanner for 1993, but we'll see if we can read those. Okay. So we're in good shape. Thanks to the owner for bringing the spare engine computer. Now we can proceed with the other diagnostics.
Thank you for the help.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, let's mess around with the Saab some more. We got the little test light hooked up, and it's actually flashing something. So from battery positive, it's being grounded by the engine computer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just keeps repeating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What if we start the engine? You know, this check engine, okay, it's also flashing. So that is the check engine light. It's just 2 words on that little screen. Alright. What if we start the engine? Let's see. We'll just stay constant. So the RPMs like to be around 1400 all the time, even when it's fully warmed up. So that's not normal. The check engine light's on all the time. So let's figure out how to flash these codes and see if we can basically make this car run and drive well, and then we'll see about that intermittent starting problem.